Hello. I'm actually really glad you stopped by, because you might have stopped by to find out about this book, Too Soon to Quit. Maybe the title caught your attention or the image, I'm not sure. But I'm glad you stopped by anyway, because I have a story to tell you. And I love to tell stories that have more meaning to it than the actual just looking at what the book is about. Because this book has got such incredible history that I just love the opportunity to be able to tell you about it. So let me start. What happened was, we were in Oikos many years ago, probably about 18 years ago. We were going through a very difficult valley in Oikos. Things weren't going very well for all kinds of reasons. Personal, as far as health was concerned, and Oikos, as far as where we were running Oikos was from our home, and we live in a reserve whereby the rules were changing, and so it was making it difficult for us to continue to run Oikos from our home, and so we were having to have a look at what to do about that. And we were really wondering whether we should proceed, and whether this wasn't a sign that we must just not continue. And whenever we reach one of those moments, I just hear my mother's voice in my ears where she says, God never told you to give up. And so I would hear her saying that. But then something even further than my mother's voice in my ears was coming to me. And that was, we live in KZN Midlands. And on the hill where we stay, there is a very long, deep valley before the next hill. And on the other hill, on the opposite hill, there's a ministries run. There's a few ministries that are run there, different kinds of ministries. So on that opposite hill, there were some people visiting from the States, from the big United States of America. They'd come to visit the people of this ministry on the other hill, because their son was going to be marrying the daughter of the people that ran that ministry. Now, you might wonder what this has got to do with anything, but it's got a lot to do with a lot of things. So just please stay with me while I tell you the story. They were there visiting on that hill, and these people's names from the States, their names are Reagan and Rachel. And they heard that we were going through a hard time. This other ministry on the other hill, being Oikos, they heard the news that we were going through a hard time. And in fact, they heard the news via the mother of the daughter who was going to be married to the son of Reagan and Rachel. And this mother her and myself and a few other women of the area used to get together once a month, or sometimes once only every second month, whenever we could, to pray together, because we were all involved in ministry, and we used to get together to pray, to encourage one another. So this mother had got to know about the struggle that we were having. So now, she is telling her daughter's future in-laws about this, and they say maybe they should go across and visit this family or this ministry called Oikos, because they can maybe bring some encouragement to them. So what happened is, next thing, before, we didn't even know all that was going on in the background, but then we had this couple, Reagan and Rachel, arrive on our doorstep, which you need to understand how amazing that is, because it's not like we live in the suburb or we live out in the country, and it's not we weren't expecting them. It was a surprise. And they arrived, and we all sat together in the lounge, and they just encouraged us. And they told us, do not quit. Just keep going. And that's why I'm glad that you stopped, because we are still here and we can continue. And I can sit here and talk to you today. And one of the reasons is because of this couple and because of this book. Because they really encouraged us at a point where we were thinking about maybe stopping the running Oikos ministries. And they came along, Reagan and Rachel. And Reagan told me about this book. I call it a book, but in actual fact, it's a collection of letters of encouragement. So he told me that he belonged to a ministry called Barnabas Ministries. Now, Barnabas, you may know, was an encourager in the Bible. And their ministry is called Barnabas for this purpose of encouraging other people in ministry, to help them to press on and to continue and to be strengthened and to not give up, because it's always too soon to quit. And so Reagan and Rachel, there we met them. They told us about this book, Reflections on Encouragements, it's called. And I just read these letters, and they were of such strength and support. And that was that. Read all these beautiful letters. They weren't in this bound and had this, looked all lovely like this at the time. They were just, I can't actually even recall how they were presented to me, but I just know that Reagan left all these letters of encouragement for me from Barnabas, and off they went. Well, years go by, possibly 10 years, and I'm now at O'Hare Airport in America because I was on my way to a convention in Texas for Konos. Now, that's where I was headed. But I was not well. I had bronchitis. Our daughter was desperately ill. And I just thought, no, I shouldn't be here. I must turn around. I must go back home because I need to go back to our daughter. Even though doctors and family and everything had said, no, you must go to the States and do what you need to do there. There's plenty of people here to support and look after the family. You must go do this. But I was questioning this. I'm sure any mother can identify that my heart was at home and I wanted to be at my daughter's side. But now instead I'm sitting in O'Hare Airport and I'm not happy. So I go into the ladies' room and I go into one of the bathrooms there and I close the door and I call out to God out loud. And I said, Lord, you'd better show me something to help me to keep on this journey because I really want to get the next flight home. I don't know that I can continue. I'm not feeling well. I don't think I should be here. And so I was talking to God out loud because I thought I was nice and private, in the bathroom. And then I heard this voice from outside. And it was a lady's voice. We're in the ladies' restroom. And she was going, is that Sonia? And it was, I was confused for a moment because somebody's calling my name. Anyway, I come out of the bathroom and there is standing in the restroom is Rachel, Reagan's wife, in O'Hare Airport. I could hardly believe my eyes. It's many years since I'd seen her. Never seen her again since the day they arrived on the hill and gave us these letters of encouragement. Anyway, she takes me, she says, oh, you must come and see Reagan. He's here. Let's go and have a look. He won't believe that I've met up with you. So off we go, and it turns out that they were on their way back from a mission trip they'd been on in China, and their plane was delayed. They were not even supposed to be in O'Hare Airport. Anyway, I get up to Reagan, and I let them both know that I'm not happy and I want to go home. So Reagan says, well, let's pray. And he did exactly the same thing again. He prayed for me and encouraged me to press on the journey that God has put before me. I must not turn back. It's too soon to quit, remember. You go on, you press on. I don't even know if Reagan and Rachel would be able to watch this. I don't know where they are. I don't know if they're even aware of the huge impact that they had on these 2 encounters we've had with them, the impact that they've had. And they don't even know now that Missy has since redesigned, Missy, our daughter, has redesigned this cover for this book and we put it into print. Well, when I say they don't even know, we did have permission to print it. But just so you know that this book, Too Soon to Quit, has had such an impact on our lives. And there's still more, because now I take this book out because Missy's finished with it and we're going to put it on the website. And I take it out to just tell you about it and who arrives at our home. But the people from the hill opposite, children now grown up, married, they have just returned, this one couple, one of the daughters of the family of the ministry on the hill. They've just returned from Russia, been in Russia for 4 or 5 months. And when they come back to the family, they come back to just restore and refresh a bit. And they come and visit us, which is wonderful. But I want to tell you why they come and visit us mostly, and that is so we can play games. Because that is something that is very dear to us as well, like this Too Soon to Quit book that is all linked with this other ministry on the hill. But it just seemed very, very amazing to me that they came and visited us yesterday and told us all about their mission trip in Russia. And we had an evening of playing games. And those games are also on the Oikos website under games. It's a family games. We played a game of Catan, Settlers of Catan. And it was just so wonderful to connect with them again. And now they are on the journey of following after God, and we can encourage them not to quit either, while they encourage us not to quit, and we both just spend time encouraging one another while playing games. So I wanted to lead on from this book to say to you that the one thing besides reading books and God sending people on our path at the right time, the other thing that has really, really encouraged us to keep going and to bring a good balance and to be strengthened is when we get around the table and play games together. There's so much value in that's why I just wanted to take this opportunity to tell you about that as well, because it just seemed that I couldn't not, because after these many years of this first landing on our lap to finally now having just yesterday taken it off the shelf to tell you about it, and then that same evening the people from the hill, who I have to say, we see them once every couple of years. That's how incredible it is. So here I was today just to tell you the whole story about Too Soon to Quit. I haven't told you much about the book itself, as in what the letters are all about, but they're basically encouragement letters to encourage you on the journey that you are on earth. So you can't go wrong, reading a book that's going to keep encouraging you. And I hope most specifically it will encourage you not to quit and just to continue. So thank you for listening to my story about Too Soon to Quit. I was very excited to be able to share that with you, and I hope you will find the letters in this book encouraging to you. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.